We're here with Tim from Black Diamond, and Tim, today we're going to run through the Couloir Harness on what is actually the hottest day of the year.
It's the fact that we're talking about a winter climbing harness and we both have flip-flops on is sort of a bit weird, but come on, let's do it.
So the Couloir, tell us a bit about it and who it's for and what it's aimed at.
Yeah, so the Couloir has been around for like a few years now, and it's always been like BD's alpine style harness, like super packable, dries out really quickly, really good for abbing in, and generally like moving around in glacier sort of like style situations.
Because that is a minimalist harness.
It's definitely pretty minimal, yeah. It's the only one thing that sort of we were starting to like lose out on is the fact that it was actually starting to get a bit heavier in previous like generations. So it was quite comfy, but it was just like a bit heavier. So an update would need to happen. So that actually happens for fall winter this year. We end up with like a lighter Couloir.
So what's changed then since the previous model?
Yeah, actually a lot. There's not much of the original harness left. So the whole construction totally changes into like this web style, web style construction across it. We get really minimal gear loops, but you're sort of seeing that on the air net and things. So they work. They're not like going to hold tons and tons of kit, but they're enough to get you around on a glacier. There's some good ice screw carry points on there, and then this is really nice. This is the AirNet Infinity Loop harness,
and this is all trickling down, isn't it, from that AirNet harness that I reviewed actually, I think last year, although it could have been the year before. Time flies.
Yeah.
And there's no stitch point.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like a one-piece loop. So actually on this Couloir, this is great. Whereas on the sport climbing harnesses, it was good because you didn't get it catching on like a Gree beaner or on a quick draw when you clipped in hard. Actually on this it's really good for abseiling because the wear is really even over multiple abseils. So in theory you should end up with like a nicely even wear on your belay loop.
And these harnesses always look, I mean when you look at this webbing, I mean, if you can see this there, that's thin. They are actually remarkably comfortable, partially to do with the way they're constructed, but also because of the fact that when you're wearing a few additional layers in that alpine environment. Well, I've used these in Scottish winter, and because you tend to be wearing a base layer of fleece, a waterproof, and Lord knows what else in Scottish winter, they're actually remarkably comfortable.
Yeah, they're not going to be something you want to do a big wall in, but I think actually the general construction has just improved loads, and there's clever knits, and the way they distribute weight is way better now than they used to be as well.
So the Couloir is obviously a relatively specialist harness, definitely one for the winter or alpine specialist. Now, this harness looks positively general purpose compared to the one that we've got on Jude, our model just here.
Thanks, Jude. Yeah, so this is the Couloir UL, so ultralight. It's effectively a more stripped down version of what you've got in your hand. So actually we lose more weight out of this. It becomes a little bit more adaptable in the fact that you can be stood in a pair of skis and you can just put it on like a giant nappy, so you don't have to like step into any gear loops at all. And then there's like this funky sort of like gear loop arrangement, which means that that you sort of save a bit of weight and you get like a nice time point, but it also brings your centre of gravity up as well, so good for abseiling and crevasse rescue.
Obviously is to mitigate the gross amount of weight that this buckle has within the standard Couloir harness.
Yeah.
And are there any other changes within, say, the leg loops, the wraparound style, the nappy approach? That again is great if you're wearing crampons as well as skis, because of the fact that you're not going to basically trip up over anything in that awkward position. Yeah,
really good. And also the fact that you take out a buckle and things, it just means like packability, you're almost into like, well, less than a tennis ball like size.
So if the Couloir just looks like it's a little bit too heavy for you as one of the lightest weight harnesses on the market, the UL.
Perfect.
And next year there'll probably be another where they construct most of it out of air. Tim, thanks for taking us through those.